Hi YouTube. This video is going to be a review of the Vevor 4,400 pound PSI 4 gallon a minute pressure washer, and we're going to unbox it and set it up and do a little bit of testing. And then I'm also playing with my nozzles, my downstream. So I'm going to downstream at the gun is my plan, and I've got my shut off here, so I'll be able to disconnect and pull my downstream off and just keep washing with my soap nozzles. So nozzle wise, I'm using a J-rod with a shooter tip and 2 shooter soap tips, and then I'm going to get a nipple and add this DS twist into my J-rod, and I think that'll get me covered since I've got my soap shut off down at the gun. We'll find out if it's going to work or not. This is a first time for me to getting things set up and trying to figure out what I'm doing. So anyway, the main thing is I wanted to give you a review of the Vevor pressure washer because I really didn't see much online. So this will give you a little look into what's going on. Oh, and make sure to like and subscribe and check for links in the description. And also the tail end of the video is going to be a video tour of the motor and pump, because again there's very little online about the Vevor pressure washer, so you can have a look around the outside of the engine and kind of see what's going on. So I hope this is all helpful. I appreciate it if you subscribe and make sure to check the links. Thanks guys, see ya. This pressure washer is available at Amazon, but I bought it directly from Vevor because they had an extra $30-some off. It came by FedEx, and it came quickly, within 2 or 3 days, and they dropped it at the front door with no signature. The box was just a little beat up, and there was a little bit of shipping rash inside on the pump, which I'll show you throughout the video, but overall it arrived in good condition. It is on the heavy side, I forget, like 128 pounds or something, but it was well packed in foam, and like I said, the one little bit of shipping rash was about it. There's not a lot of parts. It was really simple to put together. The hose was really quite nice. It's a rubbery texture. It's rated around 4,400 pounds, and I really quite liked it. It doesn't kink at all, whether it's under load or not, and it's just a very nice hose. I was very impressed. All the hardware was in a small box, and it had, I'm trying to think what it had in it. It had a spark plug wrench. It came with a set of wrenches. There was 3 different throwaway wrenches for assembling it. Had the axles, had the bolts for putting the rest of the frame together. Let's see, it had the breather tube for the pump, the pressure pump, and it had a bag of tips. Oh, and some instructions that I never looked at. And I forgot, it had something that I did not expect. This quick connect is for... So with the Vevor pressure washer, remember this is a 4 gallon a minute direct drive, and something that came in the box that really surprised me is this. And it took me a couple minutes to figure out what I was looking at, because it's not in the instructions, it's nowhere in the book at all, but this is a pickup tube for a buffer tank. So this is a 4 gallon a minute direct drive pressure washer, and yet it's got a pickup tube for a buffer tank. And so when I went to the Vevor website, and I got looking at their pumps, in the documentation that goes with their pumps, they talk about connecting these direct drive pumps to a buffer tank. So these Vevor pressure washers actually draw water. So you're not limited to necessarily to a belt drive, or I forget what the other option was. to be able to draw water out of a buffer tank that these Vevor direct drive pumps do as well, apparently. So let's see, we have the hose and gun hook that hangs on the handle. We have the non-flat, the solid wheels. I forget how big they are. They're pretty big wheels with roller bearings, which surprised me. And they're heavy. They were much heavier than I expected. And they are kind of a rubbery material, but they're non-flat. You don't have to worry about pumping up your tires. It's got the gun, and it's nothing sexy, but it's very functional. And even at 4,000 pounds, it's working just fine. Let's see what else we had in the box. Oh, and just the other part of the frame. And that's just a bolt-on. Most of the other parts of the frame go together with the little spring clips, but this was a bolt-on. And here we have the injector hose and the buffer tank pickup tube that we talked about earlier. And the extension for the gun. So we're just going to take a quick look in the box so I can show you the packing rash or shipping rash on the pump. Really not a big deal. It's mainly just some of the powder coat. So I was a little concerned once I got in here because there's little specks of rust over a lot of stuff. But once I got looking at them, they just wipe off. I'm guessing there was rusty water. It looks like it had been tested at the factory. There was moisture inside the box. And I think these spots were just rusty water that somehow got spattered on the unit and dried and left the rust there because it wipes right off. And the second tire was used as packing. The axles are tapered, so you have to take the knot off to run the axle through the wheel, and the wheels do have an inside and outside. The axle installs with strictly the pin, a push pin, but you need to make sure that pin engages the hole in the frame. And once you get the axles secured in the frame, then you can tighten up the wheel nuts. They do include a throwaway wrench that you could use to tighten the wheel nut if you want to. The upper handle just plugs in with two spring clip things, nothing to it. And then the lower part of the frame is a bolt-on. There's 4 bolts, so you need to find some way to prop up the frame while you're holding the front piece of the frame and running your 4 bolts through and getting them snugged up. And don't forget the gun and hose hook, and it simply slides through the upper frame with a couple of nuts secured from the inside. The shipping plug in the pump needs to be replaced with the breather tube, so it's just a matter of unscrewing the red cap and finding the breather in your package and installing that. The unit is shipped with no engine oil at all, so make sure you get some engine oil and put it in before you pull the crank at all. And it is shipped with oil in the pump, but as you can see on mine, the pump oil was low and I needed to add some more. A quart of oil in these engines is just not quite enough, and we really shouldn't use the dipstick. Here it shows about 3/4 full on the dipstick, and that is not good enough. You need to add the extra little bit of oil that it takes to fill this all the way up. It doesn't take much more than a quart, but it needs to be filled all the way till the end of the threads. And then your pump, you want to fill it to the center of the sight glass. Mine might be a tad on the full side, but it'll be fine. It's still in your little red dot. Make sure to check your water supply, that you have enough water supplied to the pump. So here we have a 4 gallon a minute pump, so you're going to want to make sure you have at least a 5 gallon a minute supply. Make sure your gas shutoff is turned on. This engine does like a choke. Even a warm engine, a hot engine is fine without choke, but a warm engine, it does want choke. Don't forget your switch, your on-off switch, and this engine out of the box started on the first pull. Set up the pressure washer with a shutoff at the end of the hose, so I can leave that shutoff open while I'm starting the engine, and it relieves any pressure on the pump, so it makes it much easier to start. And this one, I dialed back the pressure just a little bit, so I've got it set just a hair under 4,000 pounds. And this Vevor pump runs right up to the 4,000 pounds, no problem at all. So now I'm adding the bypass, and I'll put a link in the description for the bypass that I used, and we'll see here in a second that I've got it set at right around 3,000 pounds. Here we have just a real quick test with the green tip. And now we're trying out the 3 to 7 gallon per minute twist, DS twist. There's only one oddball thing that I found with this pump, and that's that the pressure control knob has been molded backwards. So the rest of this video is basically just a video survey of the engine and pump. Now, from my understanding, it's basically a knockoff of the Honda GX390. Now, I've never owned a Honda GX390, so I can't say, but that's my understanding. So regardless, we're just doing a video survey, so it'll give you a quick look if you want to see it. On the air handler, the air filter, the cap has a hose that's tied to it, which makes it a little bit awkward, but just an FYI, if you're trying to get that off and it doesn't want to pull off, you need to pull the hose off the fuel tank first, the fuel return hose. And other than that, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and make sure to check the description for any links that might be helpful. Thank you guys, I sure appreciate it, and I hope you'll check on other videos that we're doing. Thank you guys.